I never imagined a single dinner party could unravel the life I thought we had built together. It started as harmless teasing, or so I told myself. But looking back, those little jokes had been chipping away at my husband for years. That night, his calm, 5-word response didn't just sting, it shattered something between us. What haunts me most isn't the argument that followed. It's the quiet realization that I had turned the man who loved me more than anyone into the punchline of my stories. If you've ever said something in the heat of the moment, chasing laughs, only to wish you could claw every word back from the air, you know the feeling. Please like this and subscribe if you've ever learned the hard way that some truths arrive not in shouting, but in the gentlest, most devastating honesty. It was supposed to be a perfect evening. We hosted close friends at our home. Soft candlelight flickering across the dining table, smooth jazz playing in the background, good wine flowing. The kind of night where everyone feels safe enough to let their guard down and tease one another. Arnold had spent the afternoon at the grill, quietly making sure every plate was perfect, as he always did. Now he sat beside me, steady and observant, saying less than the rest of us. That was his way. He's never been the loud, center of attention type. Arnold is the man who notices when the car needs an oil change before I even think about it. He's the one who checks every door lock at night, who remembers I like my coffee with exactly 1 splash of oat milk, who lies awake worrying about our finances and my stress levels without ever turning it into a performance. For years I mistook that quiet strength for dullness. I started making him the target of my funny comments, convincing myself it was all in good spirits. It began innocently enough. "Don't bother asking Arnold to choose a movie," I said with a laugh, gesturing toward him. We'd still be scrolling through the menu 3 days later. The table chuckled. Arnold offered a small, polite smile, but I didn't stop there. I swear, if I waited for him to plan a vacation, we'd never leave the couch, I added, rolling my eyes for dramatic effect. More laughter rippled around the table. I felt witty, charming, the life of the party. Arnold reached for his water glass slowly, his fingers steady. I noticed the slight tension in his shoulders, but brushed it aside. This was just banter, right? One of our friends leaned in. "Come on, Arnold, defend yourself, man." All eyes turned to him expectantly. I smiled, still thinking this was playful. Arnold set his glass down with deliberate care. The room grew quieter. "Can I say something?" His voice was calm, almost gentle, but it carried a weight that silenced everyone. I nodded, still wearing that same grin. "I know she's joking," he began, looking around the table slowly. "And I know she doesn't mean to hurt me." My smile faltered. "But lately it feels like I've become a stranger in my own home. The person she lives with but doesn't really see anymore." No one laughed. The air thickened. He continued, his tone never rising, never accusing, just honest. "I don't mind being the quiet one. I don't need to be the funniest or the most exciting person in the room. But being quiet doesn't mean I'm not carrying things. I stay up at night thinking about our bills, our future, whether she's truly happy. I just don't announce it like a headline at dinner." He turned to look at me then, not with anger, but with a raw vulnerability that pierced straight through me. "I've tried to be the husband who makes her life easier. Not louder, just reliable. I don't mind a joke now and then, but when the joke is always that I'm less than, less exciting, less decisive, less everything, eventually you start believing it yourself." My throat closed up. Tears pricked at the corners of my eyes. I opened my mouth, but nothing came out. "I just wish," he said softly, "that I didn't have to earn basic respect in the same place where I give my love so freely." The silence that followed was deafening. Our friends sat motionless, witnessing something far more real than the light-hearted evening they'd expected. No one jumped in to smooth things over. Arnold wasn't trying to embarrass me. He was simply telling the truth he'd been holding inside for far too long. That night didn't begin with those 5 words. The damage had been accumulating quietly for years. The sarcastic eye rolls when he took time to think, the comments about how I handle everything while he just coasts, the way I painted him as background noise at every gathering. I had convinced myself I was being playful and relatable. I didn't see how I was diminishing him in public while depending on his quiet strength in private. After our guests left, we sat on the couch in heavy silence. The candles had burned low, mirroring the dimming light in our marriage. "I never meant to hurt you," I whispered, my voice cracking. "I know," he replied gently. "That's what makes it hurt more. You didn't even notice." Those words broke me. I thought we were just joking around. "Jokes should be funny for both people," he said. not just the one delivering them. I asked why he hadn't spoken up sooner. He told me he had tried, in small ways. The way he'd go quiet afterward, the times he changed the subject. But I had brushed it off, calling him too sensitive or telling him to lighten up. I remembered those moments now, and the shame washed over me like ice water. I never wanted you to feel small, I said through tears. I don't feel small, he answered. I just feel invisible sometimes, invisible to the woman sitting right next to me. That cut deeper than any shouting match ever could. We talked late into the night. He didn't want me to stop being myself or lose my sense of humor. He just wanted to feel like we were on the same team, especially when others were watching. You are my team, I told him, meaning it with everything I had. Then don't turn me into the opponent, he whispered. That line has echoed in my mind ever since. Marriage isn't a stage where one person gets the laughs and the spotlight. It's a quiet partnership where you protect each other, especially in rooms full of people. I had been using the man I loved as material instead of cherishing him as my safe place. That night didn't end our marriage in a dramatic explosion, but it changed everything. Arnold didn't fight me or raise his voice. He simply told the truth with such calm dignity that it left everyone, especially me, speechless. His honesty was a painful gift, one that forced me to confront the woman I had become. I used to believe being the funny, outgoing one made me the stronger partner. Now I understand that real strength is found in the steady, reliable love that doesn't need applause. It's in the man who fixes what's broken without being asked and carries silent burdens without complaint. I'm still learning. I'm still trying to rebuild the respect I eroded so carelessly. But I'll never forget the night my husband didn't shout back. He simply spoke his truth, and in doing so, reminded me what love, real love, actually sounds like when the laughter stops.